Is your vehicle stopping like it should? Does it squeal or grind when you brake? Don't miss out on summer brake deals at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Are you ready, kids? Get your parents' permission, check your mailbox, and grab your shopping cart. It's time for the Adventures in Collecting podcast.
I'm Eric.
And I'm Dave. Welcome to Adventures in Collecting, where we talk toy news, culture, and hauls,
along with our journeys as collectors. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Adventures in Collecting Premium Toyetic event. The short episode where Dave and I take a look at the most recent pro wrestling pay-per-view premium live event and break down for you not who we thought had the best matches, not who we thought put on the best overall performance, but who we thought was the most toyetic and most deserving, having that moment captured in action figure form by our friends at Mattel, Jazzwares, whoever is relevant. And in this case, we are here to talk about the biggest party of the summer. We are here covering what happened in Cleveland, Ohio this weekend at 2024 SummerSlam. So as is usually the case, Dave and I have two picks apiece to run through and discuss and plead our case to Steve, Bill, Magic, the folks at Mattel on what we think deserves that action figure. So little bit of housekeeping, of course, before we jump in and cover those picks. Let's make sure that you're following us everywhere you need to on Instagram, on X, on TikTok, on YouTube, all of the places you can follow us here at AIC_podcast for the latest news, the latest deals, the latest availability, anything and everything that we think could help out the community. And then if you're listening to us out in podcast land, definitely make sure that you subscribe so that way you get notifications when we post new episodes. And if you're watching us here on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down there so that way you don't miss it when new videos come out, where we're always posting new unboxings, if we can, video versions of the weekly podcast, and event coverage. So we just had a ton of stuff for San Diego Comic-Con, and Dave and I go off to live events, and we'll be doing one in August here, Anime NYC, if that's your thing. So we'll be there in person, and of course there'll be videos from that, but that should take care of the housekeeping for this week's episode. So I'm going to kick it over to Dave for his first pick.
So my first pick is going to be from, we'll go with the first match. I've been kind of back and forth with this, but I think we're going to go with New Jersey's own WWE Women's World Champion, Liv Morgan. I feel like every time a Liv figure comes out, it's not as up-to-date as we kind of hope. She's somebody who frequently changes her look around. So to get her in this incarnation, the Liv Morgan Revenge Tour incarnation, especially with all the controversy surrounding last night's match and her retaining the title by nefarious means, I think that's just a good mark for the figure. And she was wearing something a little bit different than like just the normal black gear that she wears. It had kind of like a denim vibe to it. So I think that's a great Liv to make for a future Liv figure. And it gives her a chance to get another world title belt out there. So Liv Morgan, my first choice.
So for my first pick, I am headed to the CM Punk and Drew McIntyre match with Seth Rollins as the referee, and I am not picking CM Punk, even though he has really cool attire. Drew McIntyre I picked at for our last premium Toyetic event. I thought his gear at the last event warranted an Ultimate Edition, but this time I'm going with my trend of picking referees. But I loved Seth Rollins' look in this match as special guest referee. All kinds of fun throwbacks with this match back to SummerSlams of past, I want to say 1997, with Shawn Michaels acting as the guest referee against Bret Hart and The Undertaker. And Seth Rollins very much so had his take on that vibe. But the Jeff Hardy, we'll say, style pants with the very glittery silver pants, and of course the referee top. Whether they do that in soft goods, that way we can pop off that referee top and give it to somebody else, or, a sculpted figure. I still think it's a really iconic moment from SummerSlam and something that would make a great figure. Maybe a new expression for Seth, too. Of course, the hands, giving him the 1, 2, 3, and the slapping hands, very important. But whether it would be a Build-A-Figure, it may be a future SummerSlam wave of figures, potentially, right? Or a figure on its own. I think it's a great choice for a future action figure from our friends at Mattel, Seth Rollins as the special guest referee.
My second choice should come as no surprise, really, to anyone. You'd figure that this is who I would have picked for his first singles match back in WWE, with a variation on the Bret Hart gear that he wore back ages ago that was more primarily pink. Of course, I am talking about CM Punk. CM Punk came out with the new t-shirt, Best in the World, with the lightning bolts hoodie. He had on the pink and black with the straight edge X's and all that good stuff. Still the Chicago flag themed, but with the black and pink of Bret the Hitman Hart. He's been talking a lot about Bret being, an all-timer, which he is, one of his favorites. So he wore that tribute to Bret in the match last night. Definitely would make a great figure to have representing. I know they've done the first night back. We've got the Royal Rumble Punk coming, so why not have first singles Punk? Yes, it ended in a loss. However, another memorable look for CM Punk. So that is my number 2.
For my second pick, I'm headed to the final moments of SummerSlam 2024 as the big return, the original tribal chief, the OTC, comes out, spears Solo, stares daggers into Cody Rhodes, and then powders out of the ring, and Cody retains, right? So Roman Reigns, he's back. We've had a lot of Roman Reigns figures. There's a new one announced coming in a really cool 3-pack to Walmart. But out of all of the Roman Reigns figures that we've received in either Elite or Ultimate form, we have yet to have a Roman Reigns with the proper, I don't want to say older look, but the more gray, the more kind of sculpted, built out beard, and the joggers. So all of the Roman Reigns figures, we've had a couple of basics that have had kind of that jogger style figure, but Roman Reigns in the Nike-esque shoes with the joggers, and then an opportunity to fire up that new shirt, get that new merch onto a figure in a soft goods shirt, and then with the watch. So we've seen the watch accessory on a couple of elites over the years, The Rock most recently, but having that kind of gauntlet-free, tape-free, wrap-free on the wrists, and the removable watch. So watch, OTC tribal chief shirt, joggers, Nikes, maybe a new Roman head, maybe just some updated deco on one of the existing Roman heads. But I think it would be an awesome addition to an already very well represented talent in the WWE. Huge superstar, huge draw, one of the GOATs, as it were. Very excited to see what he's going to do back in the fold here, what's going to happen with the bloodline and Bloodline 2.0 and maybe a Bloodline Civil War. But that's my second pick. So Roman Reigns from the final moments of SummerSlam 2024. And there you have it, folks. This has been your Adventures in Collecting Premium Toyetic event for SummerSlam 2024. We will be back. I think there's another one in August. It seems like there's a pay-per-view or a premium live event or something every month at this point. So we'll be back with the next one. And I think that about does it for this episode. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And of course, in the comments, let us know, who do you think from SummerSlam 2024 deserves a figure? What look, what ring attire, what really struck you? What would you like to see in figure form? And do you want it as an elite? Do you want it as an ultimate? Or is it just okay to have it as a main event figure? Let us know. Put it in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. And as always, guys, until next time.
Thank you, dear listener, for hanging out with us today. Subscribe, rate, and review us wherever you listen, and then tell your friends to do it. Thanks also to Joe Azari, the golden voice behind our intro. Our music is Game Boy Horror by the Zombie Dandies. Find more about them both in our show notes.
Follow us on social media at AIC_podcast on Instagram and Twitter. Stop by and say hi, show us your toy hauls, and share your toy stories. Maybe we'll talk about it in a future episode.
Don't try this at home. Void where prohibited and some assembly required. Each sold separately, not a flying toy. Consult a physician if your toy run exceeds more than 4 hours.
This has been a non-productive media presentation. Executive producer Frank Hablawi. This program and many others like it on the Non-Productive Network is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives license. Please share it, but ask before trying to change it or sell it. For more information, visit non-productive.com.
Save on O'Reilly Brake Parts Cleaner. Get 2 cans of O'Reilly Brake Parts Cleaner for just $8. Valid in-store only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Oh, O'Reilly Auto Parts.